The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Welcome to Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson.
Justin Spears, I like that.
With Justin Spears and Ali Farhang on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, ESPN Tucson. Brought to you by Tucson Federal Credit Union, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I want to be entertaining, but I'm not stupid enough to compare myself to Ali.
This year marks the 40th anniversary of the 1986 Arizona Wildcats football team, one of the greatest teams in program history, and we've got our guy, Chuck Cecil, joining us here to reflect on the 1986 football season. Chuck, always a pleasure, man. Thank you for joining us. Man, I can't believe it. 40 years.
Pleasure. 40 years. Oh, yeah. Just a subtle reminder. Yes. Getting a little older. Absolutely. Yeah. But like I said, it beats the alternative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
woke up again, another great day.
Well, I mean, with that being said, 1986 Arizona football team, one of the greatest teams in program history. How do you look back on the ups and the downs and what that season meant to Arizona football and yourself?
Well, like you said, it was one of the best in history, Arizona history, and we just played some good football. Yeah, and a lot of dudes on that team, a lot of guys that could play, and Alfred Jenkins, Danny Lockett, and just the rest of the boys, and David Adams, Sweet D, and it was just a good football team, literally, and it's funny just looking back, having played, for as long as I did, and then in the NFL as well, and then now having coached for 20 some years. It's really cool to look back and reflect on really the nice chemistry that we had on that team. I mean, the boys were bought in, played hard, and it kind of paid off.
And you were fortunate enough to play for, some of the best head coaches in Arizona football history, in Dick Tomey and Larry Smith. Larry Smith was the guy that gave you your start at the U of A. In your opinion, what made Larry Smith such a good coach and a guy that, the guys could rally around and be successful with?
Wow. First of all, very clear with his messaging. There was no hemming and hawing. It was not a little this, little that. No. Do it right. And to be honest with you, it's kind of cool because Coach Brennan reminds me a lot of Coach Smith in a lot of ways, and in a lot of great ways, in the fact that very, very good, very, how would you put it? It's very clear to the players what he's asking them to do. And the staff is really in great alignment as well, as far as just having clarity from a player standpoint. What you're being asked to do and what you need to do, and so it's a good thing. And that was kind of Larry Smith's foundation, was that he was very demanding. Didn't play and do things right, and very vocal at times, and but he was just great. Loved him. He was awesome, to say the least.
And there were some impressive wins from that season, but I think we can all agree probably the most impressive one was the win over the 4th-ranked School Up North, or as some will call the Scummies.
Yes.
How do you look back on that specific win, and also the pick six that is considered the greatest play in program history?
Well, obviously one of my favorite memories, to say the least, for a lot of different reasons. Beating the team up north, the Scummies, was always special, but that was their only loss that year.
Yep.
They would have been, I think they might have been, because they had one tie. They tied Washington State. as well. And but they went on and won in the Rose Bowl. I think they would have been national champions
Yeah.
If we had not beat them. So a little proud of that, happy about that, to say the least. And then it was just a great game, and they were, oh, by the way, they were legit. They were really good, and to stomp on them and get that win was really nice.
And then the following week, you guys went to Tokyo, to Japan, to play against Stanford in the Coca-Cola Classic. What was that trip like for you?
That was you talk about something that an outlier in college football. That one was that, because basically what they did is our game, they had like 4 or 5 years. I don't know they took one of the games from the Pac-10 schedule just randomly. It was just a random game, and at the end of the year, so we played the team up north, was the last game of the year for us in the Pac-10, of the regular season. Well, so they take the game, our Stanford game, and they move it to the week after your last game. And so after what supposedly is your last game, you get on a plane and you fly to Japan. Okay. Which was obviously a new experience, and just the time there with the players, it was comical, to say the least. And to be honest, Stanford was a team that in my mind, we should have beat them probably by 2 or 3 touchdowns. We wound up losing the game. But there are a lot of different reasons for that. But I think just the fact that we played them over there, and there were so many different variables involved in that travel. Oh my gosh! So and a lot of time for a lot of us, it was the first time having that big a time change. I mean, a lot of the kids, me as well, I was like just trying to get adjusted to the time, and it was different, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, and it's a part of your regular season schedule, but it in a lot of ways it kind of felt like a bowl, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what 100% nail on the head right there. Is that you feel like you played almost a premature bowl game, and you go play in this, and like I said, it was going to Japan. I mean, people don't understand, like in the United States, when you go over there, like you can't talk to anybody. They have no idea. When you say yes and no, they look at you like you've got something coming out of your head. They don't understand anything that you say. But no, it was a cool experience, from the fact that going over there and just going to a different country. But boy, it was quite the escapade, to say the least.
And what was your favorite part about the actual bowl experience in Honolulu, the Aloha Bowl, being there? How do you remember that week and being able to beat a very good North Carolina team?
Oh, that one was special, to say the least. First of all, it was my first time ever in Hawaii, which I grew up in Central California, so obviously knew about Hawaii, but it was the first time I'd ever been to Hawaii, and so it was everything, everything that you dreamed it would be, and our hotel was right on the beach, so it was really cool. And the other part of it that was kind of funny, because North Carolina was very good, the team we played, and boy, I'm just telling you, all of the team, like all the functions that you went to during the week leading up to the bowl game, I mean, they talked so much junk and they talked so much trash, and they thought that we were not even worthy of being there. Like they almost laughed at us, that the fact that they had to play us, and it was like, okay, you know what? I got something for you. So so actually getting that win over him was kind of satisfying from that standpoint as well.
And then Larry Smith leaves after that season. That's the introduction to the Dick Tomey era. What was that like for you guys? Were you guys a little sour at first? Did you guys, understand, because that's college football and the business? What was like the players' reaction when Larry Smith left to go to USC?
Well, everybody was disappointed. Absolutely 100%. I don't think there's any way to get around that. But like for me personally, I actually, I saw him after the game in one of the restaurants next to our hotel, and I just put my hand up and shook his hand and said, "Hey, I wish you the best of luck at USC." In every game except one, and that was versus, So, and he looked at me, because I'm not lying. It was right after the game in Hawaii, and he looked at me. He goes, because he had not announced that he was going. And I was like, I know you're going. So, I appreciate everything that you did for me, and all the things. And it was just SC had always been his dream job. All the things that he had done. And so it was just like, it was the next step for him. It was just like when Jed, went up to Washington. It's like, I respect and appreciate all that they did for the program, and then wish him the best of the luck moving on, except for one game.
Except for one game. All right, Chuck, before we get you out of here, people, always talk about some of the best teams in Arizona football history. And, Desert Swarm gets brought up, the teams from the late 90s, heck, even the Alamo Bowl team from a few years ago. How do you stack up the 1986 team? Or like when you think about just kind of where it fits in Arizona football lore, how do you describe what that specific team means to the program?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I don't want to get too sentimental, but I mean, clearly one of the top 10 teams in Arizona history. That's a tap in.
For sure.
We had a very solid team, very good offense, very good defense. Our kicking game was great, and the boys bought in and played hard, and it honestly, and I know this almost kind of silly, but it kind of reminds me, our team this year kind of reminds me a little bit of that team that we had then, since we're talking about the old days. But the boys are in right now. I mean, they are in like they haven't been in the last 10 years. I mean, they are working hard. They are running. And the thing is, they're bringing each other along. They're demanding it from each other. And that was kind of one of the things that we had with that team in 1986 was that there was a lot of player accountability involved, and which is, always a great thing, and something that you really, it's when you got that, it's valuable. And so, it was one of the greats, obviously, and just blessed to be a part of that.
That is Arizona football legend Chuck Cecil joining us here on ESPN Tucson, talking about the 1986 Arizona football team. This year marks the 40th anniversary of one of the greatest U of A football teams of all time. 40 years. Chuck, you're the man. I appreciate you taking some time to take a trip down memory lane with us, man.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Now I can still remember a little.
Chuck, you're the best, man. Take care.
Have a good one. Take care.
See you,
Bye.
man.